everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. You guys, today we are making another pound cake recipe. Right now I'm just all about the holiday desserts. I really don't do a Christmas dinner, but I focus more on the desserts and the cookies and the snacks and things. That was my oven preheating to 325. I focus on the desserts, the snacks, and the little things that we like to eat during the holidays. So today we are going to be making a chocolate peppermint pound cake. Now you guys, when I tell you that this cake just screams Christmas because it is so Christmassy and it's garnished on the top with real peppermint. I mean, I was really skeptical. I started fixing this cake years ago and I was a little skeptical about peppermint pound, but ironically enough, it was very, very good. And I actually used to make specialty pound cakes. I had a business where I did specialty pound cakes, and this was one of my best sellers at Christmas time. Okay, so let me share with you the ingredients that we're going to need to make this wonderful cake. I will be using cake flour, using some granulated sugar. Of course, we need milk. I have my milk here that is room temperature. I have my eggs here that are also room temperature. I have my butter that is room temperature. Also going to need a little salt, some baking powder, and some pure vanilla extract. And I'm also using a minty flavored oil. You can certainly use peppermint extract, okay? But this is the oil that I'm going to use. And I usually get these oils from a local cake supplier here where I live, where she supplies all things cakes and desserts and baking and all of that, okay? Then we're going to need some peppermint to garnish the top, and we'll actually have to break up this peppermint. So we'll break it up in little pieces and then we'll use it to garnish on the top. You guys, when I say Christmassy, this is just so Christmas. We'll also be using, I'm going to do like a light glaze on it, because I'll also be garnishing it by melting some of these classic white Ghirardelli baking chips. So it's going to have some white chocolate on the top of it as well. Let's see. Is it everything? Did I do the Hershey's cocoa? We need some Hershey's cocoa. Now the entire batter will not be chocolate. I'm going to mix up the entire batter first, and then I'll pull some of that batter out to mix up some cocoa in part of the batter. And this part of the batter that has the chocolate in it, that's where I will be adding the minty or the peppermint flavored oil. So the peppermint flavor will not be throughout the entire cake, okay? The part of the cake that will remain white will have the pure vanilla extract in it. So actually the chocolate part will have the peppermint and the pure vanilla in it, okay? I did not want to do the peppermint throughout the entire cake, and it's just really a subtle hint of the peppermint. If you love I always think about people that love peppermint patties. You will really, really enjoy this cake, okay? So we're going to get started mixing it up. I'm going to talk you through what I'm going to do, because as usual, I do not want to talk over the mixer. So I'm going to share with you what I'm going to do before we start and get this mixer turned on. Okay, I'm going to start by getting my softened butter in my mixing bowl. And then once I get all of this butter in here, we'll be adding the sugar. And once we add the sugar, we are going to cream the butter and the sugar until it becomes fluffy. And it usually takes me at least a good 10 minutes to cream my butter and sugar. Okay? So I'm going to do that for at least 10 minutes. Of course, I have thoroughly washed my hands. Don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands, y'all, because that's just nasty. I have to tell you that all the time. Nasty. But believe it or not, some people do it. Okay. So I've added my butter, and then I'm adding my sugar, and we're going to cream this butter and sugar, after which we're going to add the eggs one at a time, and we're going to make sure that we mix it up good in between each egg, okay? So now that my eggs and butter and sugar have all mixed up, I'm going to add my baking powder to my flour mix. And I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to make sure that's all mixed up. And then we're going to add this to our mixture, and we're going to alternate it with the milk. So I'll be adding the milk, and as a matter of fact, yes, I like a lot of vanilla. I'm going to go on and just add my vanilla flavoring to my milk. Sometimes I do this and sometimes I don't. Well, this is the time that I'm going to do this, okay? So then that's done. And we're going to make sure that we end with the flour. All right, now that we have it all mixed up, going to take part of this batter out so I can mix in some Hershey's Cocoa. Okay, I'm going to get my tube pan prepared, and I'm just going to put the cake, go on and add most of the cake in my tube pan, and then that I leave in a bowl, I'll just add the chocolate Hershey's Cocoa to it. That way I don't have to mess up more dishes. How about that? Now make sure you get your tube pan sprayed really good. Okay. I'm going to start by adding, let me bring you guys over here closer to me so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that's better. If you guys are like me, I'd be looking at videos, I'd be like, wait a minute, take me over there with you. I want to see what you're doing. Okay, so as I was saying, rather than me messing up a separate bowl, I'm just going to take my batter, the majority of it, or at least a little more than half of it, and I'm going to go on and put it in my tube pan. Okay, and then this right here, maybe put just a tad bit more. Ooh, just a tad bit more. Okay. Okay. And y'all, wait a minute. I am so serious, but I need to get me some of this batter out. And once I add that chocolate to it, I'm not going to want the regular batter. And yes, I'm going to eat this. I sure am. I just needed me a little bit, okay? Okay. Ooh. All right. So I'm going to add my cocoa. See, I'm going to do about a fourth of a cup. Make sure all the lumps are out of it, since I didn't sift it. just making sure that there aren't any large lumps in this cocoa. Okay, and now to this, I'm going to add a little bit of my peppermint oil. Don't need a whole lot. And at this point, you can taste this batter to make sure that you're tasting enough of the peppermint, okay? Add just a tad bit more. So we're just going to drop it in. Give that a little swirl. And then we'll get the rest of it in. Okay, now we get this as smooth as we can. bottom of it to get the air bubbles out. Now we're going to put her in the oven. Okay, we're baking it on 325 for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes later. We need to let this cool. Okay, now to top the cake off, I'm going to do a little glaze of just the powdered sugar, a little bit of vanilla, and milk. I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to do some of the white chocolate. I'm going to melt this in the microwave, and then a little bit of the semi-sweet chocolate to just give it a little contrast with the white. Okay, so I don't want a whole lot of chocolate on the top as in the milk chocolate, but just enough to kind of give it some contrast, and then we're going to top it off with these candy cane pieces that I've crushed up. Okay, I have my milk chocolate and white chocolate here on the stove melting the morsels, and I'm going to add just a little bit of milk to loosen it up. Help it be a little bit more creamier as it's melting and I mix it up. And this is only powdered sugar and a little bit of milk. Now when you're doing this powdered sugar and milk glaze, you only need just a little bit of milk. It goes a long way, because you don't want to make it too thin, but if by chance you do make it too thin, then you just add more powdered sugar. Well, all right, you guys, another holiday cake. There's something about peppermint. You guys, when I see candy canes, I just think it's Christmas time. So this is such a Christmassy cake. I love the crushed peppermint on the top. And I'm trying not to tilt this too much because I don't want this cake to slide off this cake plate on the floor. Y'all, isn't it beautiful? Pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay? So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, turn on your notification bells, you know, your nosy button, all of that good stuff, so you'll know when we are uploading over here, okay? So thank you for watching. I already look forward to you joining me again next time. Bye.